Hello and welcome to the Mythical RC series of how-to videos. Today I'm going to do a very simple adjustment. I'm going to show you how to set the gap between the main spur gear, this one here, and the clutch bell housing. It's quite a common mistake that if you set the gap too wide, then you can very easily strip the spur gear, especially if it's a plastic gear like this one in this Thunder Tiger. Also, if you set it too close, the mesh will be very tight and the car will have virtually zero performance. So what we're going to do today is we're going to use this is a Thunder Tiger SSB. We're going to use this, and the reason I've chosen this car is because everything is very easily accessible and you can see easily what I'm doing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this plastic gearbox brace so that you can see the spur gear and the engine, and I'm also going to loosen off the 4 engine bolts, which are here, here, here and here. Okay, so I'll come back to you in just a moment when that's done.
A few moments later.
Okay, so the bolts have been removed from the gearbox brace. All I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift it up and out of the way so that you can actually see quite closely. I'll try and put this quite close to the camera so you can see quite closely the main spur gear, and let's put that there, the main spur gear and the clutch gear, which is here. Okay, and it's this mesh here between the main spur and the clutch we want to get right. Okay, it's a very simple technique, but one that works every time. So having loosened off the engine bolts as well, in fact I'll give them just a little bit more of a loosen so that you can see what I'm doing here. These can usually be quite tight. In this one I've had this engine out before, so it's not very tight. Okay, so we're going to loosen those off there. Okay, now the correct procedure for getting that mesh correct on the spur gear is very simple, and all you need is a little piece of A4 paper. Okay, this is it, just a little strip of A4 paper, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the strip of A4 paper between the 2 gears. There we go, like that. Okay, make sure it goes all the way through, and you can see that. So there we are, I'll put that close to the camera. Okay, that's meshed between the 2 gears. Okay, having done that, all we do then is we push the engine close into the gears. I'll use my thumb for that there. Okay, push the engine in close to the 2 gears. We come underneath and we just tighten up the engine bolts here and here. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on my finger, I'm just holding it close. And then what we should find is, once that's done, if I then remove, there we are, if I then remove the piece of paper, what we'll find is that the mesh is exactly right. There's a very slight rock there, which is absolutely acceptable, not too much, but it's loose. That's the main thing, and it's loose. There we are. And that is very simply how to adjust the bell housing to the main spur gear. As I said, if you get it too tight, then you'll find this is difficult to turn and you'll feel it notchy, in which case then it is too tight, you need to loosen it off. If it's too loose, then this will rock quite a lot. If I hold that one still, this will rock quite a lot, and you'll actually start to strip the teeth on the main spur gear, which can work out quite expensive. So it's best to get that right. So simple strip of A4 paper, wind it between the mesh, push it in tight, do the engine up, job done. And there we are. That's a very simple video on how to adjust the main spur gear. I hope that helps you. If you have any comments, or if you'd like to make any suggestions for videos that you'd like to see, then please let me know via the YouTube channel. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you.